My beloved brothers and sisters, sometimes you don't need a long dura to change your life. Just one sincere whisper from a heart that's tired but still trusting Allah can open a door you never knew existed. Even a quiet Ya Allah can move the heavens in your favor. One whisper can move mountains. Sometimes, my beloved brothers and sisters, you don't need to know big Arabic du'as. You don't need to memorize long Quranic du'as. You don't need to speak for 20 minutes to get Allah's attention. Because Allah, He doesn't need your words. He looks directly into your heart. It's not about the length. It's not about sounding perfect. It's not about being loud or using poetic language. Sometimes, it's just one small whisper. A whisper that escapes from a tired soul. A whisper that isn't planned. A whisper that you didn't rehearse. But it's real. It's raw. It's sincere. And that's what matters the most to Allah. You see, the world teaches you that you have to prove yourself to be heard. That you have to explain yourself. That you need to be strong, confident, composed, put together. But with Allah, you can be weak. You can be broken. You can be messy. You can be unsure. And He still listens. Because Allah isn't like people. People might get tired of hearing your pain. People might not understand your silence. But Allah, He listens even when you say nothing. He hears you even when you're crying into your pillow and no one else knows what's going on. Sometimes, the most powerful moment in your life might come in complete silence. Just you and your Lord. No background noise. No fancy words. Just one breath. One Ya Allah said while your chest is tight, your eyes are swollen, and your heart feels like it's falling apart. That one whisper can change your life. That one whisper can shift the entire direction of your future, because Allah is not measuring the volume of your voice. He's measuring the depth of your trust. You don't need to raise your voice. You need to raise your sincerity. You don't need to speak clearly. You need to feel deeply. You don't need to make perfect dua. You just need to mean it. Think about this, my dear brothers and sisters. When a child is hurt, really hurt, they don't explain. They don't use full sentences. They cry. They say, Mama, Baba. And just that one word is enough for the parent to rush in and help. So, what about Ar-Rahman? What about Ar-Rahim? What about the one who created your tears before you even knew how to cry? If you just say, Ya Allah, with a heart that is broken, a soul that feels alone, a mind that is overwhelmed, Allah responds. He responds in ways you won't always see. He responds in ways your heart will feel before your eyes do. He may not remove the pain immediately, but He will give you strength while you walk through it. And what is more beautiful is that Allah never forgets a single tear you cried while calling on Him. Not one tear, not one breath, not one whisper goes unnoticed. There are moments late at night when everyone is asleep and you're just lying there staring at the ceiling, thinking about your life, your mistakes, your losses, your fears. That is when dua becomes most powerful. Not because you're shouting, but because you're empty. And when your heart is empty, Allah fills it. When your strength is gone, Allah carries you. When your words fall apart, Allah hears the pieces. So tonight, don't worry if you don't know what to say. Just say, Ya Allah. Say it with honesty. Say it with pain. Say it with hope. Say it like a child looking for their father. Say it like someone who has nowhere else to go. Because He is the destination. And even if you're too tired to speak, then cry. Even if you can't cry, then feel. Even if you can't feel anything, just sit in His presence, He still knows. Remember, my brother, remember, my sister, Allah doesn't need perfect worshippers. He wants sincere ones. So let that one whisper tonight be the start of everything changing. Maybe you've been waiting for something big to happen, some sign, some shift, some breakthrough. But maybe that moment isn't in a big event. Maybe it's in the quiet moment when your heart finally says, Ya Allah, I trust you. That could be the moment the heavens open, because sincerity moves what strength cannot. The dua that freed Yunus alayhi salam. Sometimes, my beloved brothers and sisters, the most powerful rescue doesn't come with armies. It doesn't come with noise. It doesn't come with hundreds of words. It comes from a quiet soul in the darkest place, saying one honest line to the one who sees everything. Yunus alayhi salam, he wasn't just lost. He wasn't just tired. He wasn't just in pain. He was buried. Buried in the belly of a whale, in the middle of a raging ocean, in the darkest night. 3 layers of darkness. The darkness of the ocean, the darkness of the night, and the darkness of being completely alone in that place. No one could hear him. No one could save him. No one even knew where he was. And yet, he turned inward. He turned upward. He turned to Allah. And do you know what he said? He didn't say, Ya Allah, save me from this whale. He didn't say, Ya Allah, get me out of this test. He didn't say, Ya Allah, I can't take this anymore. He said, La ilaha illa anta subhanaka inni kuntu minaz zalimin. There is no God but you. Glory be to you. I was from the wrongdoers. That's it. Not even a full sentence about the pain. Not a complaint. Not a long dua list. Just one line of surrender. My brothers and sisters, please listen carefully. Yunus alayhi salam didn't call out from a place of comfort. He called out from a place you may feel like you're in right now. Maybe you're trapped in something too. Maybe you're stuck in a place no one understands. Maybe you're overwhelmed by something nobody else can see. Maybe you feel like you've disappeared inside your own sadness. Maybe you keep showing up, smiling, but inside you're drowning. Yunus alayhi salam felt that. And he didn't run away from Allah, he ran to Him. He didn't try to explain everything. He just said the truth. La ilaha illa anta. There is no God but you. That was his way of saying, Ya Allah, you are still in control even in this. You are still the most powerful, even while I feel powerless. You are still worthy of praise even when I'm falling apart. And then he said, Inni kuntu minaz zalimin. I was from the wrongdoers. He admitted that he was wrong. That maybe he gave up too early. That maybe he ran from the mission too fast. That maybe his pain made him forget who's really in control. And that one dua, that one honest moment, that one deep, quiet confession, it opened the ocean, it moved the whale, it changed the qadar. Subhanallah. You might be thinking, but I'm not a prophet. I've made bigger mistakes. My situation is different. It's more complicated. My heart is too broken to even think straight. But my dear brother, my dear sister, the dua of Yunus alayhi salam wasn't answered because he was a prophet. It was answered because he was sincere. He turned to Allah from his lowest point. And that is exactly what you can do. You don't have to wait for things to get better. You don't have to have everything figured out. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to turn back to say that line from your heart. Tonight, La ilaha illa anta subhanaka inni kuntu minaz zalimin. Say it with tears. Say it with silence. Say it with trembling. Say it with doubt in yourself, but trust in Allah. And let your soul return to the one who always knew your way home. Sometimes your wail isn't a real creature. It's depression, it's heartbreak, it's failure, it's loneliness, it's guilt. It's the feeling that no one understands what you're going through. And you think you're lost, but you're not. Allah knows where you are. He sees every wave around you. He hears every whisper from inside you. And He is closer than you realize. You might be in darkness, but so was Yunus alayhi salam. And his light didn't come from the outside. It came from that one line of dua. My brothers and sisters, sometimes the test you're in was not sent to break you, but to bring you back to Allah in a way comfort never could. If Yunus alayhi salam was never swallowed by the whale, he wouldn't have made that dua. And if he didn't make that dua, he would not have been remembered forever in the Quran as the one whose call was answered. You see, the test became his elevation. And maybe this hardship you're going through, this heartbreak, this delay, this confusion, maybe it's not punishment. Maybe it's the place where your soul finally returns to Allah with a dua that changes everything. So tonight, stop overthinking. Stop doubting if Allah will respond. Just breathe. Put your hand over your heart. Close your eyes. And whisper what Yunus alayhi salam whispered from the belly of the whale. La ilaha illa anta subhanaka inni kuntu minaz zalimin. Then pause. And let the ocean inside you finally settle. The shield of hasbunallahu wa ni'mal wakil. Sometimes, my beloved brothers and sisters, you reach a moment in life where nothing is working. You've tried, you've planned, you've cried, and still the problem doesn't move. It feels like you're standing in front of a wall so high, so thick, so heavy. And no matter what you do, it just won't budge. That's when this dua becomes your shield. Hasbunallahu wa ni'mal wakil. Allah is sufficient for us, and He is the best disposer of affairs. It's only a few words, but it holds the power of the heavens. Let me tell you, when the companions said it, they were outnumbered. They had just survived an attack. They were tired. They were bleeding. And now they were told the enemy is coming back for you again. And you'd expect fear, right? You'd expect panic, right? But what did they say? The Quran tells us, الَّذِينَ قَالَ لَهُمُ النَّاسُ إِنَّ النَّاسَ قَدْ جَمَعُوا لَكُمْ فَاخْشَاهُمْ فَزَادَهُمْ إِيمَانًا وَقَالُوا حَسْبُنَا اللَّهُ وَنِعْمَ الْوَكِيلُ. Surah Al-Imran 3, 173. They were told, the people have gathered against you, so fear them. But it only increased their faith. And they said, Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakil. Subhanallah. They didn't panic. They didn't run. They didn't give up. They stood taller because they knew something powerful. When Allah is enough, nothing else matters. Sometimes in life, you will hear things that make your chest tighten. You've lost your job. They don't love you anymore. The results are not good. The future doesn't look clear. And in those moments, Shaitan rushes in to whisper fear, to whisper doubt, to make your mind spin in circles, to tell you it's over. That's when you pause. Take a breath. Place your hand over your heart and say it softly from the deepest part of your soul. Hasbunallahu wa ni'mal wakil. Allah is enough for me. I don't need to know how. I just trust who. Because trusting Allah doesn't mean the storm disappears. It means you no longer fear the storm. Let me give you an example. My dear brother, my dear sister, imagine a child on a plane. The plane hits turbulence. It shakes. People are nervous. But the child, calm. Why? Because the pilot is his father. He knows who's in control. You see, the shaking is still there, but the fear is gone. That's what happens when you say, Hasbunallahu wa ni'mal wakil. You remind your soul, yes, the waves are high. Yes, the night is dark. Yes, I don't know what's coming, but I know who's carrying me. And that's enough. Now, let me ask you something. Have you tried everything except leaving it to Allah? Have you exhausted yourself trying to fix the situation, but never stopped to surrender it? Because surrender is not weakness. Surrender is strength. It means, I've done my part, and now I trust the one who never fails. And Allah never fails. In fact, many times in life, He will let everything fall apart just to show you what it means to rely only on Him. Sometimes He'll delay the answer, not because He's punishing you, but because He's building your faith muscle. He's teaching you to say, even when I don't see the way, even when everyone leaves me, even when the future scares me, even when I'm trembling inside, Hasbunallahu wa ni'mal wakil. Allah is still enough for me. Say it in the morning when you don't feel ready to face the day. Say it at night when the worries of tomorrow won't let you sleep. Say it after bad news. Say it before making decisions. Say it when your heart is racing and your hands are shaking. Because the more you say it, the more your soul remembers who's really in control. And the amazing thing is, this dua is not just for protection, it's for power. When the companions said it, Allah didn't just protect them, He strengthened them, He gave them peace. He increased their Imaan. And that's what will happen to you too. So say it. Say it again. Say it even when you don't feel strong. Because the truth is, you don't have to feel strong to be carried by the strongest. And if you're watching this with a tired heart, if you're watching this after being betrayed, if you're watching this after feeling lost for so long, this message found you right on time. Allah is reminding you, you don't have to know the outcome. You just have to trust the one who controls it. And what better words to trust with than Hasbunallahu wa ni'mal wakil. Allah is enough for us, and He is the best one to rely on. Let this be your anchor. Let this be your shield. Let this be your comfort when nothing else makes sense. Because with Allah, even the impossible is only a word away. Astaghfirullah, the breath that resets everything. My beloved brothers and sisters, sometimes the heaviest thing we carry is not our past, but our silence about it. The mistakes, the things we never talk about, the guilt that follows us, the memories that still sting, even if no one knows but us and Allah. But tonight, you don't need to carry it anymore. Because one word can change your entire story. One word can clean what you thought was permanently stained. One word can make the angels rewrite your record as if it never happened at all. That word is Astaghfirullah. I seek forgiveness from Allah. That's it. Just one breath, just one humble return, just one moment of turning back. You see, my brothers and sisters, no matter what you've done, no matter how long it's been, no matter how low you've fallen, no matter how ashamed you feel, Astaghfirullah is always the door. Always. The Prophet ﷺ, the purest of all souls, used to say it more than 70 times a day. Not because he sinned, not because he needed it, but to teach us something powerful. That istighfar is not just for sins, it's for the soul. It's for clarity. It's for barakah. It's for healing. It's for rizq. It's for mercy in your home, light in your grave, and ease in your final moments. And do you know the most beautiful thing? When you say Astaghfirullah, you're not just cleaning your past, you're opening your future. There are blessings waiting for you, but they're blocked by your sins. Not because Allah is punishing you, but because He wants to give you more after you come back to Him. Listen to what Allah says in the Quran. فَقُلْتُ إِسْتَغْفِرُوا رَبَّكُمْ إِنَّهُ كَانَ غَفَارًا يُرْسِلْ السَّمَاءَ عَلَيْكُمْ مِدْرَارًا وَيُمْدِدْكُمْ بِأَمْوَالٍ وَبَنِينَ وَيَجْعَلْ لَكُمْ جَنَّاتٍ وَيَجْعَلْ لَكُمْ أَنْهَارًا. Surah Nuh 71, 10, 12. Nuh alayhi salam told his people, seek forgiveness from your Lord. He is ever forgiving. He will send down rain from the sky for you in abundance. He will increase you in wealth and children. He will give you gardens and rivers. Look at that. Forgiveness opens the skies. It brings risk. It increases you in ways you never imagined. It beautifies your world before it beautifies your record. So when you say Astaghfirullah, you're not just asking to be forgiven. You're asking Allah to love you again, to turn toward you, to open closed doors, to ease what's heavy, to send rain in a dry season, to heal what no one else even knows is broken inside of you. And that is why the Prophet ﷺ taught us to say Astaghfirullah at all times, even when nothing's wrong, even when things are going well. Because there is no situation, no pain, no success where Astaghfirullah doesn't bring benefit. Let me ask you something. How many of us have been stuck in the same problem for weeks, months, maybe even years? How many of us are waiting for something, a job, a marriage, peace, clarity, and it just hasn't come? Have you tried this door? Have you truly sat alone, hands open, head lowered, and just said, Astaghfirullah. Ya Allah, I went wrong. Ya Allah, I've been distracted. Ya Allah, I've put things above you. Ya Allah, forgive me. Even for the things I didn't notice I did. That kind of istighfar, that type of return melts blocks you didn't even know existed. It's not just about saying the word. It's about feeling it. Because when you say it with regret and hope, your sins are not just forgiven, they are replaced with good deeds. Yes, replaced. Listen to what Allah says. إِلَّا مَنْ تَابَا وَآمَنَا وَعَمِيلَ عَمَلًا شَالِحًا فَأُولَٰئِكَ يُبَدِّلُ اللَّهُ سَيِّئَاتِهِمْ حَسَنَاتٍ. Surah Al-Furqan 25:70. Whoever repents, believes and does good, Allah will turn their sins into good deeds. Subhanallah. Can you imagine? The same thing that made you cry in shame, the same sin that made you hide your face from yourself, the same slip that made you feel unworthy of du'a lahu malahu, becomes a reason for reward. That's what Astaghfirullah does. Not because we are worthy, but because Allah is the most forgiving, the most loving. And don't let shaitan trick you. Don't let him tell you it's too late. Allah won't forgive you. You've done too much. Because that lie is how he keeps people trapped in guilt. But you are still breathing, which means the door is still open. Allah doesn't tire of forgiving. We just tire of asking. So tonight, don't wait. Don't let the guilt keep you quiet. Don't let the shame stop you from speaking. Don't let the past keep you prisoner. Just whisper it. Even if it's the only thing you say today, Astaghfirullah. Say it with humility. Say it like someone drowning, clinging to the rope of mercy. Say it like a child running back to a parent after getting lost in a crowd. Say it again and again and again until your soul finally feels clean again. Because even if the world never forgets what you did, Allah can erase it completely with just one word, sincerely spoken. Astaghfirullah, Musa's words that split the sea. My beloved brothers and sisters, sometimes in life you reach a place where everything feels like a dead end. You look ahead and there's nothing but ocean. You look behind and the people or problems you thought you escaped are catching up again. You look around and you're alone. No one to help, no one who understands. No time left, no direction to run. It's in these moments when your soul feels surrounded from all sides that Allah teaches you what it means to truly trust Him. Let's go back to that exact moment, to the edge of the sea. Musa alayhi salam had escaped Pharaoh. He had freed the children of Israel. But now, Pharaoh and his army were charging from behind. The Red Sea was crashing in front of them. And his people, they were panicking. Inna la mudrakun. We're finished. They're going to catch us. Their fear was real. The sound of the horses, the steel of the swords, the screams in the air, the sea rising like a wall. But what did Musa alayhi salam say? He didn't shout. He didn't run. He didn't collapse. He simply said, Kalla, inna maqiya rabbi sayahdin. No, my Lord is with me. He will guide me. That's it. One sentence. No battle plan. No secret exit. No backup army. Just conviction. He didn't say, maybe Allah will save us. He didn't say, let's hope for the best. He said it with certainty. My Lord is with me. He will guide me. And then Allah didn't just make a small escape route. He didn't just slow Pharaoh down. He did the impossible. He split the sea in half and made the ocean floor dry. He turned what was once a barrier into a path. All because of one man's certainty in his Lord. Now pause. Because I need to ask you something personal. What sea is in front of you right now? Is it fear? A problem in your marriage? A sickness that won't go away? Debt that feels endless? Loneliness that keeps growing? A decision you can't seem to make? Whatever your sea is, and however your Pharaoh is chasing you from behind, remember the response of Musa alayhi salam, because you can say the exact same words today. Kalla innama ya rabbi sayahdin. No, my Lord is with me. He will guide me. Say it when the odds are stacked against you. Say it when people laugh at your dreams. Say it when your heart is racing and you don't know what to do next. Because here's the truth. You're not meant to part the sea. That's not your job. Your job is to believe in the one who can, and he still can. You see, the story of Musa alayhi salam wasn't just recorded in the Quran for us to read and admire. It's there to remind you your Lord doesn't change. The same Allah who split the sea for Musa is the one watching your test right now. And if your dua is sincere, if your heart is full of reliance on Him, if you say it the way Musa alayhi salam said it, then the sea that's blocking your future today can be the same sea Allah uses to carry you to your next chapter. Now you might ask, but how do I get that kind of certainty? And I'll tell you, you stop focusing on the size of the sea and start focusing on the greatness of your Rabb. You shift from, how will I survive this? To, what is Allah trying to teach me here? You move from, this is impossible, to, with Allah, nothing is impossible. Because wallahi, some of the most impossible moments in your life are not meant to drown you. They're meant to transform you. They force you to say, I've tried everything. I've planned, I've cried, I've collapsed. Now, I'm leaving it all to you, Ya Allah. And in that exact moment, when the ego drops, when the plans fail, when the fear reaches its peak, that's when the sea parts. Not a second before, and never a second too late. My dear brother, my dear sister, you may not see the miracle yet, but maybe tonight is the night you finally stop running. Maybe tonight is the night you finally stand still on the edge of your own Red Sea and say, Kalla innama ya rabbi sayahdin. No, my Lord is with me. He will guide me. And Allah hears that. He always does. Even if you're trembling when you say it, even if your heart is full of fear while your tongue says, I trust you, even if your legs feel weak and your eyes are full of tears, just say it. Say it when you have no way out. Say it when you've tried everything else. Say it when you feel like giving up, because that may be the moment your sea finally splits and the same ocean that looked like the end becomes your bridge to a new beginning. The dua of a homeless prophet. My beloved brothers and sisters, sometimes Allah takes you away from everything you once depended on, not to punish you, but to empty your hands so He can fill them with something better. That's exactly what happened to Musa alayhi salam. He didn't just lose a place. He didn't just leave a job or a house. He lost everything. He had grown up in the palace of Pharaoh, a home filled with luxury, power, and position. But in one moment, everything changed. He defended someone, and in the chaos, a man died. Suddenly, the very system that raised him turned against him. Pharaoh's army came after him, and Musa alayhi salam had to run. No plan, no food, no map, just fear and footsteps through the desert. And where did he arrive? In a place called Madian, a new land. No friends, no family, no food. No one even knew who he was. He sat under a tree, hungry, exhausted, nameless, and alone. Now pause here. Think about it. This was a prophet of Allah, and yet he tasted rock bottom. He tasted rejection. He tasted isolation. He tasted what it feels like to be invisible, just like you may be tasting it now. Maybe you've been removed from a job. Maybe you were rejected by the person you loved. Maybe life forced you out of a home, a relationship, or a circle. And now you are sitting under your own version of that tree, not knowing what to do. That's when Musa alayhi salam turned to Allah, not with complaints, not with bitterness, but with the most beautiful words. Rabbi inni lima anzalta ilayya min khairin faqir. My Lord, I am in desperate need of whatever good you send to me. Let's break that down. He didn't say, give me this specific thing. He didn't say, I want to go back to the palace. He didn't say, I want my old life again. He said, Ya Allah, whatever good you have, I'll take it, because I am in need and you are the giver. That is the heart of true surrender, to trust that whatever good is in Allah's plan is better than what you are asking for. Musa alayhi salam admitted his poverty, not just in money, but in control, in energy, in options, in direction. And from that one heartfelt dua, everything began to change. Moments later, two women approached. They brought him home. He was fed, he was honored, he was given a place to stay, and eventually he married one of them, found a family, found stability, and found purpose again. Subhanallah. From homeless and hunted to being welcomed and protected, all because of one sincere whisper under a tree. Now I ask you, my beloved brother, my beloved sister, have you ever made that kind of dua? Not the kind where you ask for a specific person, not the kind where you demand a certain result, but the kind where you finally say, Ya Allah, whatever you send me, I'll accept it. I just need something good. I'm tired, I'm lost, I'm empty, but I'm not turning to anyone else except you. That dua can shift your entire life. You may not see the answer immediately, but the moment you say it with truth, the heavens record it. Because Allah doesn't ignore the dua ta'awah of someone who's been pushed to their knees by life. When you have nothing left, that's when Allah gives you more than you ever imagined. But first, He empties your hands. And that's the part that feels painful. Losing people, losing plans, losing control. It's not easy, but Allah is not removing to hurt you. He's making space for something greater. Musa alayhi salam thought he lost everything, but he was actually being moved to where his real mission would begin. And maybe that's what's happening to you right now. Maybe that heartbreak, that rejection, that no, that silence from Allah, it's not the end. It's the space before your new beginning. And that beginning could start with just one whispered dua. So tonight, as you sit with your thoughts, with your loneliness, with your uncertainty, don't scroll, don't distract yourself, don't numb the pain. Speak. Say what Musa alayhi salam said, even if it's just a whisper. Rabbi inni lima anzalta ilayya min khairin faqir. My Lord, I am in desperate need of whatever good you send me. Say it with a real heart. Say it with a soft voice. Say it as someone who's finally ready to receive not what you thought you wanted, but what Allah always knew was better for you. And maybe this time next year, you'll look back and say, that was the night everything began to change. Because when you admit your need for Allah, Allah responds by showing you how little you actually needed from anyone else. Healing the chest. Allahumma inni a'udhu bika min al-hammi wal huzun. My beloved brothers and sisters, sometimes the pain you feel doesn't show on your face. It doesn't make noise. It doesn't scream for attention. It just sits like a silent weight on your chest. You carry it into every room. You smile through it. You work with it. You pray with it. You even laugh with it. But it doesn't go away. Some days, it's the sadness that slows you down. Other days, it's the worry that speeds your heart up. And sometimes, it's both. You're exhausted, but you don't know why. You feel heavy, but you can't explain it. You want to cry, but the tears don't even come anymore. If that's you, then let me remind you of a dua that the Prophet ﷺ himself used to say. A dua so powerful, so gentle and so healing that it's like Allah gave it to you for nights just like this. Allahumma inni adudu bika min al-hammi wal huzun. Oh Allah, I seek refuge in you from anxiety and sorrow. That's it. But within those few words is a lifetime of healing. Let's pause and feel every part of it. Allahumma inni a'udhu bika. Oh Allah, I'm turning to you. I'm seeking protection with you. I don't want to handle this alone anymore. You see, sometimes we try to carry everything ourselves. We bottle it in. We keep smiling while we're hurting. We keep saying, I'm fine when we're falling apart. But eventually the soul gets tired. And that's when Allah is telling you, you were never meant to carry this on your own. Min al-hammi, from anxiety. Anxiety is when your mind keeps racing. It keeps imagining the worst case scenario. You're afraid of what might happen. You're scared of what you can't control. You keep asking, what if I fail? What if I get hurt again? What if they leave? What if nothing gets better? Anxiety is the fear of tomorrow, consuming your peace today. But with this one dua, you're saying, Ya Allah, I'm giving it back to you. You know the future. I don't. You control it. I don't. So I'm surrendering these racing thoughts and placing my heart in your calm. Well, huzn, and from sorrow. Sorrow is the pain of the past. It's the regret. It's the betrayal. It's the memories that still sting. It's the loved one who left. It's the mistake you can't seem to forgive yourself for. Sorrow is what silently steals your energy. It whispers, you're not good enough. You shouldn't have trusted them. You ruined everything. No one truly sees you. But with this dua, you're saying, Ya Allah, I know you're Al-Rahman. I know you forgive what people can't. I know you see the version of me no one else does. So I'm placing my sorrow in your mercy. Because when Allah protects you from hammi, anxiety, and huzn, sorrow, He doesn't just remove pain, He replaces it with sakinah, divine peace. My brothers and sisters, this dua is not a poem. It's not just something to read, it's something to breathe. Breathe it in the moments your chest tightens for no reason. Breathe it when you feel a wave of sadness rising and you don't know why. Breathe it when your body is still, but your thoughts won't stop running. Say it slowly. Let every word soak into your heart. Allahumma inni a'udhu bika minal hammi wal huzun. Oh Allah, protect me from what my mind fears and what my heart mourns. You see, this dua doesn't pretend the pain isn't real. It doesn't ask you to just be positive or ignore your feelings. It validates what you're going through, but it also gives you a way out. Because your anxiety may not make sense to others. Your sadness may not be something you can explain. But Allah understands what even you don't have the words for. And sometimes you don't need a therapist or a solution or a perfect plan. You just need this moment, this breath, this prayer. Say it tonight. Not as a ritual, but as a release. Say, Ya Allah, you know how heavy I feel. You know how tired I am. You know what's been keeping me awake. You know what's been hurting me in silence. So I'm not asking for much. I'm just asking you to protect me from this pain, the anxiety that clouds my mind, and the sorrow that weighs on my chest. And then trust that Allah heard you the first time and that His help might not come through a big miracle. It might come through a quiet calm, a moment of stillness, a night where your tears fall, but your heart feels lighter afterward. Because sometimes peace is the answer. So the next time you feel like your emotions are too much, the next time you want to shut the world out, the next time you feel like no one understands, don't run away. Run to Allah and say the dua that heals the heart. Allahumma inni a'udhu bika min al-hammi wal huzun. And let the one who created your chest be the one who lightens it. 2 words that weigh more than the mountains. My beloved brothers and sisters, sometimes you feel like your dua isn't enough, that you haven't done enough, that your words are too small, your voice too quiet, your heart too weak. But what if I told you that even the smallest sentence, if said sincerely, could weigh more on the scale of the hereafter than all the burdens you've ever carried? What if you could say something so simple, so short, that the angels themselves rush to record it? And what if you could say it even when you're broken? The Prophet ﷺ once said something truly beautiful. Kalimatan khafifatan ala lisan thaqilatan fil mizan habibatan ila rahman subhanallahi wa bihamdihi subhanallahi al-a'im. 2 words, light on the tongue, heavy on the scales, and beloved to the most merciful. Subhanallahi wa bihamdihi subhanallahi al-lahim. Bukhari, Muslim. Let's reflect. Subhanallahi wa bihamdihi. Glory be to Allah and praise is His. Only 6 words in English, only a few syllables in Arabic. But on the day of judgment, they could outweigh your darkest moments. They could outweigh a mountain of regret. Why? Because Allah isn't measuring length. He's measuring love, sincerity, trust. You could say this dhikr as you're walking, while driving, while laying in bed, while wiping your tears in the dark, while waiting at a traffic light, while cooking, while listening to your heartbeat and wondering why you feel so tired, and it still counts. It counts more than you realize. It's not a loud public act. It's not dramatic. It's not something the world will notice. But Allah will, and the angels will, and your soul will feel the light every time you say it. Subhanallah wa bihamdihi. Glory be to Allah and praise is His. When you feel empty, say it, because Allah is full of abundance and He can fill what feels hollow inside you. When you feel unworthy, say it, because Allah doesn't ask you to be perfect. He asks you to remember Him. When you feel like you've wasted your life, say it, because one moment of dhikr can rewrite years of forgetfulness. And here's what makes it even more beautiful. The Prophet ﷺ said, whoever says Subhanallah wa bihamdihi 100 times a day, all their sins will be forgiven, even if they are as much as the foam of the sea. Bukhari, Muslim. Do you understand the mercy in that? Even if your sins are like waves crashing endlessly, 100 of this dhikr less than 5 minutes of your time can erase them all. But even if you can't do 100, just say it once. Start with one. Because sometimes the first Subhanallah is the hardest. Not because the tongue is heavy, but because the heart is. But once you say it and your heart hears it, a crack opens in the darkness and light enters again. Because this dhikr isn't just a tasbih, it's a weapon, it's a shield, it's a key. It's your way of saying, Ya Allah, I still believe you are perfect, even if I'm falling apart. Ya Allah, you are still worthy of praise, even when I don't understand what you're doing in my life. Ya Allah, even though the pain is real, so is my faith in you. That's why these words weigh so much. Because they aren't casual. They're not hollow repetition. They are spiritual surrender. And when you repeat them, you're not just glorifying Allah, you're healing yourself. The worries of your chest, the heaviness of your soul, the confusion in your mind, it all begins to settle. Why? Because you've connected your heart to the one who never breaks. My dear brothers and sisters, how many minutes do we waste scrolling? How many hours go by in distraction? How many nights pass without our soul feeling full? Yet this one phrase, Subhanallah wa bihamdihi, could be the reason your grave lights up. Could be the reason your book of deeds shines. Could be the reason your heart begins to feel peace again. You don't need a long list. You don't need perfect Arabic. You don't need a special time or setting. You just need now. Say it before you sleep. Say it when you wake up. Say it when you feel like breaking. Say it when you feel strong. To stay grounded in humility. Say it when you feel lost. To find your way back to Allah.